Okay, it's 12:01, so let's get going so we have as much time as we can. So, welcome. I don't need to explain this concept to you guys. You guys all know what 15 minutes of positivity is about. Today's theme, I was thinking it's Monday, so Mindfulness Mondays is where I like to take this. So this what's alive for me is this sense that the habit of spending nearly every waking moment lost in thought leaves us at the mercy of whatever our thoughts happen to be. So just emphasizing this idea that if you really start paying attention, you realize you have no control over what you're going to think next, right? None of us know what we're going to think 7 seconds from now. Try it out, see if you can predict it, let alone 30 seconds, an hour, tomorrow evening, this evening. It just, thoughts are just things that happen. And yet we live in this constant illusion that we are somehow the authors of these thoughts, because when they do happen, they're pretty captivating, right? They take us down all kinds of interesting rabbit holes. And it's nice to kind of wake up to this idea that we can break the spell of being trapped in thought identification. And mindfulness really is the way in which we can do that. So meditation being the tool that gets us to a state of mindfulness where we can begin to notice that, thoughts are just happening, just like the weather, just like I have no control over when it rains or how hot it is. Thoughts just happen. So being able to take a step back and being able to realize that is actually quite empowering. So what is this mindfulness thing that we refer to here? So here's my definition. There are lots of ways of defining this, but it is a state of active awareness. So it's not just something that happens to us, it's something that we do when we get together like we are right now and we say, okay, I'm going to intentionally stimulate or activate some sense of awareness. I'm going to introspect, I'm going to look, I'm going to be attentive to what's happening. So we're paying deliberate attention in the present moment, or to the present moment is another way of saying it. So what's happening right here, right now? And then the hardest part is this without judgment piece. So can we pay attention in this moment, right here, right now, to what is happening? And that includes noticing that pleasant thoughts arise, unpleasant emotions arise, stressful memories pop up into our, in our mind. None of this is our own doing; it just happens. And so the challenge is being able to take a step back and simply witness and just say, "Oh, there it is. Oh, that seems like an unpleasant memory." Um, right. So the without judgment piece has to do with not getting hooked into it, not getting sucked into um, the content of the thoughts, but simply noticing that thoughts arise, thoughts go, emotions arise, then they leave, and it's this constant. This happens tens of thousands of times a day. So the move here is to learn how to begin again. And what I mean with that is, so we set the intention to drop into the present moment, and we just wait, we just watch, and then we notice at some point that our we get hooked into the thoughts, and we go into their content, right? So we start engaging in the memories and I've been in meditation retreats where literally I'm sitting there and I'm sweating and I'm hot, my palms are sweaty, my heart rate is up, and all that's happening is in my mind I'm attaching to memories that were stressful or anxiety provoking. Yet really, if I could step out of it, I'd see that I was literally just sitting on a cushion in a room filled with other people, and yet here I was spinning. So the ability to begin again and say, okay, that just happened, it's okay, let me return now back to this place of just saying, okay, take a breath, recenter, and begin again with simply noticing what's happening. Easier said than done, but let's actually try that today. So let's practice. Close your eyes. Let's begin in this moment by setting the intention to say, for the next 9 minutes, we're going to we're going to try to focus on just being with whatever shows up, whatever thoughts, whatever sensations, And the goal is to simply be with whatever appears in our mind without judgment. And so judgment isn't necessarily oh, this is terrible, or this is good, or it's not necessarily moralistic judgment, but it's even just the sense of, do I need to act on it? Is this so important that I need to do something about it? So can I be with the itchy nose and just see what happens if I don't actually give in to the impulse to raise my hand and scratch my nose? Can I just notice, oh, there it is, the itchy nose? Can I be with simply noticing my heart rate, my respiratory rate, just happening? I don't need to change it. Maybe there's an impulse to want to shift your feet, shift your hands, shift your body in the chair. And the invitation here is simply to notice and pose the question and say, what if I don't act on it? What if I just notice it? And notice how a longer period of silence is almost like an invitation to the mind to step in and say, yeah, yeah, pay attention to me. There's all this stuff going on that you should act upon or you should engage with. So the instruction here is just to begin again, letting things be as they are, letting memories arise and fall away, just seeing ruminations for what they are. It's just the activity of the mind. See if you can just take a step back and see it all happen without engaging. And this ability to begin again, simply letting go of what just happened and simply remembering that, oh, right, I get to begin again, take this neutral observer stance. That's a skill. And the more we flex that muscle, the better we become at it. Let's see if you can just begin again right now. Set the intention to just watch and not engage. And when you get caught up in your thoughts or your memories, just know that it's totally normal. And that's just what the mind does. And that's the cue to say, okay, let me begin again. Let me begin to pay attention right here, right now, direct contact with reality, noticing the body, breath coming and going, sounds and sensations just coming and going, thoughts and memories. When you notice the mind getting wrapped up in it all, so not if, it's bound to happen. So when you notice the mind engaging with the content of thoughts and the sensations, that's the opportunity to begin again. Just begin again. And just begin again. And then let's take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way, contracting your abdomen. And just hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale, long exhale, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes and see if you can still maintain the sense of mindful vigilance in the background. So even with eyes open, just noticing that it's all coming and going, thoughts, sensations, all transient. And yet the one consistent thing that we can experience is the part of us that gets to witness all of that. Being able to do that is a pretty significant superpower. So I'll stick around for a few more minutes if anyone wants to connect. Quick reminder, last week I flooded this one, but tomorrow, Tuesday, Brenda has her community integration group at 6:30. Everyone's invited to that. It's a great opportunity to connect with others. We don't do a lot of, or really any back and forth conversation here other than what I do now after the fact. But Brenda's sessions are all about inviting community interaction. So to whatever extent you feel comfortable sharing or hearing what other people are going through, it's a great opportunity to just make some connections or regarding your mental health journey. So thanks everyone. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Take care.